Hi there, my name is Philip Pape and I am the VP of Membership for It Up Toastmasters, a local club in Windsor, Connecticut. And I thought I would make this video to provide some tips that I've learned over the years about evaluating speakers. I also created a handout and a template that goes along with the video, which you can receive if you contact us based on the information below this video. I wanted to run you through the steps from the time that you find out you are evaluating a speaker all the way through the very end of the process. When you first find out that you're evaluating a speaker, or you've volunteered to do so, you'll find that the speaker has a particular project that he or she is working on in the Pathways educational experience. And what you want to do is find out exactly what project they're working on before the speech, before the meeting, and get familiar with what's called the evaluation resource. The speaker can provide this for you, or you can obtain it yourself through Toastmasters. And it will lay out the objectives for the speech, as well as a scorecard or a rubric that you might want to keep in mind as you are listening. The next step is to just reach out to the speaker directly. Ask the speaker what their personal goals are. You can say, I'm evaluating you today, and I'd like to help you with what you're working on. So is there one specific thing outside the project that you want me to focus on? For example, I usually ask people to focus on either my vocal variety or my pacing, because these are the advanced techniques that I am currently working on. Then you get to the moment of the speech. This is during the club meeting, where the speaker is up in front of the room or on Zoom delivering their prepared presentation. Your job as the evaluator is to listen actively. This is difficult for many of us, myself included, because all I want to do is take notes so that I can give them a proper evaluation. The problem with writing down notes furiously is it may be difficult to absorb all the content and meaning of the speech, and it also could even be distracting to the speaker. Therefore, my suggestion is to take a blank piece of paper and prepare a template for your verbal evaluation. And this template, ideally, is the same template you would use every time, something that you are familiar with. I'd like to suggest something called the 3-2-1 technique. This is something that I saw a contestant use at an evaluation contest. And it's fairly straightforward. You are going to provide 3 things that you enjoyed about their speech, 3 things that the speaker did very well, 2 things that the speaker has an opportunity to improve, along with specific recommendations on how to do that, and then 1 thing that you found very memorable, something you'll never forget that you want the speaker to take home with as motivation. The benefit of this approach is it follows the traditional sandwich technique of a positive and an opportunity and a positive, but it front loads the positive feedback, back loads the negative feedback, so that, I shouldn't say negative, opportunities, so that the speaker has those fresh in their mind, but then ends with a little burst of motivation. And you can use the back of a blank sheet of paper to set that up ahead of time. What I do is I will write plus, 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 minus, minus, star. And that gives me my spots where I need to fill in the evaluation. As you are listening to the speaker, and things come up, place them in the appropriate slot in your outline. And this outline will serve later on as your mini speech outline for your verbal evaluation. I suggest doing this instead of filling out the evaluation resource, because the resource tends to be different for each person, and it may be tough to work with the actual document right in the middle of the meeting. The way that I'm suggesting is a standard, simpler approach, in my opinion, for crafting your evaluation. The next step then is the speaker has finished their speech, and it's your turn to get prepared for your verbal evaluation. Hopefully during the meeting you have enough time during the following speakers, during table topics, to prepare that. The way I would do this is to simply fill out the gaps in your outline that you couldn't fill out during the speech, and think about it in your head and how you are going to present this. I wouldn't necessarily spend the time filling out their evaluation resource. You can do that later. You can do it after the meeting, and then you'll email that to them or give them a copy if it's in the room. Focus on writing down your notes in that outline, the 3, 2, 1 outline. Now it's your turn to go up on stage and provide your feedback to the speaker. Remember, this is an opinion. It is your opinion about what you observed. I would therefore recommend using I statements. I saw, I heard, I felt. For example, I saw that you maintained eye contact on this side of the room. I felt that you might have connected better with the audience by panning around the room and making eye contact with more people. For me, one way I've addressed this is by separating the room into 3 wedges and making sure that I distribute my eyes periodically between those. That was an example of providing somebody your opinion of what you observed and something that you found helpful that could help them address that issue. Try to be positive. Remember that you're helping the speaker by sharing your opinion. One thing you don't want to do is what's called the whitewash. A whitewash is when your entire feedback, your entire evaluation is positive. If this was a friend of yours and you're trying to be supportive, that's great. But people come to Toastmasters to learn and grow. And unless we give them constructive criticism, how are they going to do that? Whatever it takes, find something. I realize this is difficult for newer evaluators when you're evaluating experienced speakers. It is difficult sometimes to find something. So how can you do that? One way to do that is to think about things in advance that you are comfortable evaluating. It might be vocal variety, eye contact, the use of hands, and you should be able to find something that will help the speaker. Even if the speaker is just amazing, you can probably focus on something that they're really good at and point out that they should do more of that or continue to focus on that as a way of enhancing their other speeches. That is also a form of constructive feedback. Last but not least, when you're done with the evaluation, follow up with the speaker toward the end of the meeting or after the meeting. Hand them their resource guide, give them some positive motivation about how much you enjoyed the speech and that you are there to answer any other questions they have. Focus on how you are going to help the speaker get better. This is a time for you to get up there and deliver your own version of a speech, but it's also the 2 to 3 minutes of time that that speaker has been preparing to be receptive of, potentially for weeks or months. And it behooves you as the evaluator to take that mission seriously, to take that burden of responsibility as seriously as you can to ensure that that person receives the most effective evaluation that they can receive and grow from. I hope these tips were helpful for being the evaluator. Again, if you would like the handout that lays out all these steps, as well as the 3-2-1 template that you could use, just contact our club, Talk It Up Toastmasters, by visiting our website or reaching out to us by email. Thank you very much.